But I want to go back to something where you said only 3 of you and you're one of the ones that stayed.
Right.
Why'd you stay?
I think it was mostly because my mother, even on her deathbed, I came to the hospital one Sunday morning and she's like, "Why are you here?" I was like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm here for you." And she's like, "You need to go to church." And she, always stayed on me about that. Even, like I said, even on her deathbed, she would tell me, "Go get your aunt. Make sure she goes to church. Why aren't you at church? There's prayer tonight. Go to prayer. Don't worry about me." And so from between that and I would say the leadership at my church, not all leadership, but my pastor and first lady, namely, because I feel like they're safe for real. And they have integrity. And that's something I really look for in a leader, because people don't realize, like, Christianity is really a lifestyle. It's not a Sunday thing. It's like, this is how you lead your life. And so you need somebody who's strong, who is real about it. They don't have to be the smartest people in the world. Not saying anything about my pastor and first lady, but they don't have to use the biggest words in the dictionary. They don't have to have the most money. They don't have to have the biggest church. But if I feel like that you're for real about what you do, that you're for real about what you say, that you show up, that after you speak the word, nobody whisks you off into your office and I can't touch you. You're chasing me down and shake my hand after service. And that I know that you and your wife have a solid marriage that is an example for anybody anywhere. And that I've seen you, my pastor, he has a job. And so I've seen him out downtown during lunch hour, either walking all by himself or, with a coworker. But you never see any shady business. He's never jumped in my inbox. He's never texted my phone like, "Hey, what you doing?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, And so these are things that I appreciate, because you don't know what you're going to get when you go to another ministry. And so I know, like, I talk about my mother a lot, but when I got to the hospital the night she died, my pastor and first lady were already bedside. Just standing there, lost in days too. They felt as strongly about it as I did. And and so it's like, when you have someone that shows up, that's there, that stands in the trenches, that stands in the gap, that cares about you, that's asking you about your future aspirations and your endeavors, and praying for you and hoping that you do the best and go further and go higher and do more, and gives you opportunities to even speak. Some things that you don't even articulate, you don't tell people, "I think I'm a speaker. I want to speak. I really, but there would be an urging within me sometimes. And I would be like, man, if I was to speak, I would come from this text. And then all of a sudden my pastor would text me, "Are you available to speak?" I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's God.
Yeah.
But it's just, just knowing that they are good, solid leaders really keeps me there. It keeps me grounded. I know I talk about the religion of it all, the religiosity, the whole wear your stockings and wear your skirt and wear your sleeves and all of that. I was just like, okay. But I do think that it gives them the ability to hold the reins on what they allow in their church too. And so it kind of keeps you close to the cross, I would say. And so it makes you respect the boundaries that are in place. And it kind of keeps you in line, even when you don't want to be kept. It's kind of like the tangible Holy Ghost. So that much I can appreciate, but I do have my gripes and my issues and things that bother me as well. But I would say, for the most part, what keeps me at my church is knowing that I'm going to get good word and that it's coming from real people, good people. And I just can't entrust my spiritual health to just anybody.
Exactly.
I love Bishop Jakes. I feel like he has great perspective on people, and I feel like that's what's missing in the church a lot. People are not understood in church. Human nature is not understood in the church.
Exactly.
We rarely ever talk about sex. Everybody, it's like,
keep your dress down, keep your legs closed. Nothing else.
I mean, men literally wake up ready for it, and we don't talk about it. And so it's just like, to just sweep it under the rug and hope for the best is not realistic. And I feel like that's what keeps Black people specifically in this cycle, as Jonathan McReynolds says, the devil knows your mistakes even when you don't. And that's what keeps you in cycles. And it's like, we don't want to talk to our young girls about sex. We don't want to talk to them about birth control. So they come home pregnant at 16, 17, whatever. But other people, their daughters are on it from 12 years old. And we're like, oh, they so fast. But it gives them a way to plan out their next steps.
But here's the funny thing about that. Sometimes the young ladies are on birth control from 12 on, but you have a mother telling you should be like her, not knowing she's on birth control and she's been sexually active entirely.
Exactly.
And that's where I question the discernment, because we uphold people who are so shady, and I'm thinking, how do you not see that?